Yeah, yeah, yes. Now we are able to see your screen. Yes. Okay. Would you like to just try changing your screen? I can see the first screen, sustainable shipping, save our seas. Would you like to attempt to change your screen?
Yeah, I'm going on doing it. Like,
Can you go to the next slide?
yeah, here it is. What is sustainability?
Captain Dheeraj, you can see the slides, right?
Yeah, yes, sir. I can see. I can see.
Okay, Mr. NMC, sir, if you can change a couple of slides just to see everything is okay. You're still on the first slide. Yeah, okay, okay.
Now,
Can we go a couple more? What is sustainability? That's the slide we are seeing now. Yeah, okay, right, sir. Right, sir.
right.
So you can keep it minimized, sir. You can keep it minimized and stop presenting now, and use the same method once we call you up to
Yes,
present your screen.
now got it. Yeah.
Yeah, right.
Sunny Joseph.
Dheeraj Shaji sir is here.
Yeah, that's what I'm looking for. Just a minute, sir.
Okay, just have a look. Otherwise, I'll just give him a call. I think once it's confirmed, we can start in the next couple of minutes.
I think he has not yet joined.
Okay, I'll give him a call.
Yeah.
Why Sunny is sitting tight? Daff. Sunny Joseph. Ah, and face should be looking cute, not tough. Good. Where is Mugundan? Mugundan gone?
Yeah, Dheeraj. Dheeraj, can you hear me?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, I just spoke to Shaji sir. Let's allow another 2 minutes for him to join.
Yeah. Okay. Okay. He just called here. Also, I just called him. Also, I think he link. Also, I need to send him once again. I'll just send once again to him.
Yeah, yeah. Just send him. We'll just wait for 2 3 minutes and then we start the program. Yes, I think Dheeraj Shaji sir has joined.
Yeah. Okay, sir.
I think we can go ahead and start. We are on time.
Okay, sir. Thank you very much. I'm Captain Dheeraj Sinha. Uh, Good afternoon to all of you. This is our knowledge series which we have been conducting for say last year approximately, where we call distinguished persons from the field, maritime field, and we have an audience which includes our students, faculties, and even people associated with the marine field. So in the same continuation of the series, today we have a knowledge series which is on sustainable shipping and clean oceans by Mr. NMC Nair. Now this is Mr. NMC Nair. The introduction is very long, but he is a marine chief engineer. He is ex-chairman IMEI Cochin, and we will have a, a webinar or a guest talk from him on sustainable shipping and clean oceans. To start that, I would like to request all participants first to keep their mic muted during the guest talk, and if they have any queries, questions on the session, they can put it on the chat box, which will be taken up later on the question answer sessions. So we start today's webinar with our schedule, which will be welcoming the dignitaries at 15:30. That means just now we'll be welcoming by the director. Then introduction of the speaker, which will be given by HOD Nautical Science, Captain Vinod Naveen, guest talk himself. Then we will have a question answer session where the questions from the participants will be taken up. And then finally, vote of thanks. So just to start the session, I would like to request IMU Kochi Director, Mr. Mohammad Shaji, to welcome the dignitary. And you can start, sir. Over to you, sir.
Yeah, good afternoon, everybody. We are back again for this webinar for the month. Okay, it is very happy the Cochin campus is very sincerely following the Indian Maritime University's Vice Chancellor's, our VC Madam's instruction how to conduct at least a webinar in a month. Okay, so School of Nautical Science is very sincerely following that one. We are happy today. We are NMC Nair sir for the presenting this one. So good afternoon, sir. Good afternoon, all the dignitaries, faculties, and students. Today's topic it is conveyed by our introductor, Captain Dheeraj, sustainable shipping and cleaner oceans. Okay. Anyway, our NMC Nair sir is a chairman of the IME Cochin branch. Okay, he was in education field for a long time. In fact, I can say he was our teacher long back for the upgradation course and all the when we are doing at the upgradation course all this time. So he was very interested in educating in the field of the students and maritime field. So I welcome you, sir, and I welcome all of other dignitaries and faculties and students to this event. Okay. Let us continue our this one action or our effort to take it to the elevated height on this issue, on this what is called the activity of conducting the webinar every month. Okay, I wish all the success for this event, and I congratulate the organizers also to do very correctly, particularly every month one seminar. Okay, one webinar. Actually, now being the period of the COVID, it is seminar, a webinar. Okay, whether webinar or seminar, this is a part of our knowledge series we are conveying. Okay, thank you. Over to Dheeraj. You can start with the proceedings.
Thank you very much, sir. As always, you have been always with us for the webinar, and we have been, as an IMU campus, we have been doing it continuously, and we have maintained the continuity. Now I would like to request Captain Vinod Naveen, HOD Nautical Science, to please introduce the speaker to the audience. Over to you, sir.
Thank you, Captain Dheeraj. Am I audible?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Go ahead.
Yeah. First, schedule he's made it to this webinar. So thank you to our director in charge, Mr. Mohammad Shaji. I also extend a warm welcome to members of various associations who have joined us today. I could see a few members of IMEI, CMMI, the Nautical Institute,
the Mariners Society in Kerala. So welcome to all of you who are joining us today for this webinar series, guest talk by Mr. NMC Nair. I would say just talking a little professional about Mr. Nair. He has got a variety of experience, I would say. Some of them is already mentioned in the welcome address. But as everyone, he started like everyone, he started his sea career with Shipping Corporation of India. He spent about 12 years with SCI. And then after the sea experience, he moved over to the land. And then he started off as a chief marine engineer for port department under the Kerala government. He spent another fruitful 12 years with the port department with the Kerala government. And then, as mentioned in the welcome address, he moved over to teaching to impart all that knowledge and experience that he has gained at sea and over the land. He spent about 5 years teaching in Cochin Shipyard, and he was also the vice principal of Eurotech Maritime Academy in Cochin earlier. And then after that, he moved to another shore experience. He was a general manager with Seaport Shipping in Chennai. He spent about 14 years over there. And as it was mentioned, he is ex-chairman of IMEI. He's a member of IMEI now, and very actively involved, I would say, of other than professional, any program that we used to conduct here in Cochin, we can always find Mr. NMC Nair in that program. So he was very actively involved. And he also has presented a lot of papers, including 2018. In fact, both of us were supposed to go to Shanghai to present the paper, but he went ahead and he presented the paper in Shanghai. I couldn't make it up with him. So that is about Mr. NMC Nair, a very jovial person, always forthcoming, always willing to help. Though he's located in Trivandrum, as I mentioned, you could find him in any function, not only in Kerala, but in other places across our country also. So with that, I once again welcome Mr. NMC Nair, who's going to give us a guest talk on sustainable shipping and cleaner oceans, which I believe is a very important topic for the youngsters who are going to go out to sea. Over to you, Captain Dheeraj.
Thank you, sir. While I think now Mr. NMC Nair has been introduced so much, so now we all are waiting for him to present and to listen his words, his knowledge, his experience. So over to you, Mr. Nair, sir. You can continue with your presentation and your guest talk, sir.
Good evening to all, especially to the students and my friends from IMEI, CMMI, and all my friends from Cochin. See, I was working on various small presentations and started taking more interest in cleaner oceans and sustainable shipping. Then now I have submitted a paper for next WMTC at Copenhagen, and they have approved my abstract. Now I think today I got another message for some paper presentation in Brunei on climate change. Subject is same, so I will be preparing for that. In between, I presented another version of sustainable shipping in Indian Engineering Congress at Cochin, Calcutta, in last 2020 December, and it was selected as the best paper in marine division. So I took interest in that side and started working on it. So this COVID time, I could spend mostly on new ideas, especially sustainable development goals by United Nations and IMO. So let me start my presentation. Hope you can see. Can everyone see it?
Yes, we can see that. Please go ahead.
Should I change over to? No, I'll do it like this. No problem. What is sustainability? So that word started working around in our minds during the last 5 years after the United Nations came with the SDG plan. Then I went through internet and started trying for it. I got this. This generation should keep the world in the same condition for the next generation. That is, sustainability means meeting the needs of the present without compromising the ability of future generation to meet their needs. People, profit, and planet. All these three should be for the community, for the economic, and for the environmental health. We should maintain the world so that next 2-3 generations should be able to sustain, live happily like how we are doing it. This is the detail about ocean. It covers 3/4 of the Earth's surface, 97% of the Earth's water, and 99% of the living space in the planet. 3 billion people depend on marine and coastal biodiversity. Ocean absorbs 30% of our carbon dioxide, gives us back 50% of oxygen for animals and human beings. It is the largest source of protein. The acidity level, CO2, have increased by 26% since the start of Industrial Revolution. Coastal water quality is very bad due to air and water pollution. Of course, this last 1 year, air pollution level has come down because vehicles are not moving. Only ships are running around. Aircrafts are not there. Road traffic and rail traffic is reduced. Only marine traffic is continuing. That is a great thing about our marine field. Climate change includes both global warming. I think you people can read it. I will not be going deep into it. Greenhouse gases effect, climate and CO2, SOx, NOx in the air should be reduced. For that, we will have to think of many options and procedures. When 40 years back, when I was sailing, 45 years back, we used to throw everything from the ship into the sea, including daily garbage, just dump it overboard from the drum. Have a beer, throw the can into the sea. Now it is all stopped. We cannot do anything. If we had bought 150 cans of beer, we should return 150 cans of beer with the ring, that opening ring should be returned back to avoid this pollution of sea. This is all because of our human behavior. 2 days back, I saw a video on this our paper, hand cleaning, that paper which you get, which is always on the table. And to make it, every day 1,800 trees are being cut to get that much paper. Then about 500 million plastic straw is used by USA alone daily. All this is just thrown into the sea, comes into the sea, not thrown. They dump it in the canals or somewhere, it flows into the river comes to the sea, and our sea gets completely polluted. The signs of climate change is temperatures are increasing, droughts are increasing, cyclone. Now we are just finished getting into the 2 cyclones. Second one is still going in Paradeep. Rain and snowing pattern change. Glaciers are melting. Sea ice is melting. Therefore, yesterday, I think there was a news, 175-kilometer long ice block just shifted from Antarctica area. Just broke and started moving. Main cause of climate change is burning of fossil fuel like oil, gas, and coal. And our ships at sea need oil or gas, and we were using coal earlier. So it comes to saying that marine field is making maximum pollution, but actually we are making only 2.7% of carbon dioxide pollution comparing to road, rail, and air. We'll come into that later. Ocean and marine resources are being increasingly threatened, degraded, or destroyed by us, reducing the ability to provide crucial ecosystem services. The deterioration of coastal and marine ecosystem and habitat is negatively affecting human well-being also. This is a beat usually we see. All the things we throw outside your house, it goes to the sea, and sea gives you back. During the last 15 days of cyclone and rough sea weather in Kerala coast, I think more than what we put into the sea has come back. There is a photo of Fort Cochin on 15th May. It will come to that. The sea is full of plastic, thermocol, chappals, whatever is it made in plastic which is floating in water is given back. That is nature's way of treating us now. So let us be practical. Sustainable transport is one of the biggest challenges for the 21st century. While shipping is relatively safe and clean compared with other transport modes, we have to have more action on environment. Shipping is subject to less stringent and environmental demands than those placed on land-based thing, but greenhouse gas effects are increasing. Now we are thinking of changing over to LNG, methane, ammonia, different fuels to reduce CO2 and NOx emission. See, this is the last 7 years data, global CO2 emission in tons. Total shipping is very less. It is only 2.76, but slowly increased to 2.89 in 2018. That means marine field, it is increasing. It's up to 2018, but after 2018, it started reducing again. If it is taken maritime sector in India, you can see navigation is written 1%, whereas roads take 87%. Aviation takes 7%, railways 5%. So navigation, marine is the lowest member in CO2 for the atmosphere. Precautionary principles, sustainable development policies, greater public concern about global environment issues, pressure from other sectors, all serve to reinforce the need for industry to behave in a better, sustainable manner. So, in 2015, United Nations adopted 17 SDGs with 169 related targets, which is a plan of action for the people, for the planet, for the prosperity. By 2030, it is only 9 years away. But as per the records of the improvement in all these fields, there are 17 fields, only marine, sea, climate below sea, or clean seas. There it is on minus because it has not come up to that level now. These are the 17 goals. Oh, that I will have to show in slideshow form. Okay, leave it. 14 is life below sea. 15 is life on land. 13 is climate change. Like that, there are 17. This thing, let me see whether I can show it in slide.
You can try and click the slideshow button at the right hand.
It is coming.
Yeah.
Number 1 is no poverty. Number 2 is zero hunger. But I think both are interconnected. If there is no poverty, there will be no hunger. good health and well-being, quality education, gender equality, clean water and sanitation, affordable and clean energy, decent work and economic growth, industry innovation and infrastructure, reduced inequalities, sustainable cities and communities, responsible consumption and production, climate action. This is related to the subject I told you earlier. This is ours, life below water for the sea. This is life on land. Next is peace, justice, and strong institutions. 17 is partnership for the goals. These are the 17 SDGs. Goal 14 is conserve and use the oceans, seas, and marine resources sustainably. Ocean, seas, and coastal areas form an integral and essential component of the Earth system and are critical to the sustainable development. Ocean contribute to poverty eradication by creating livelihood for many fields like fishermen, oil rigs, and including mariners. IMO is a United Nations specialized agency to promote efficient, safe, secure, environmentally sound, and sustainable shipping through the adoption of highest practicable standards of safety, security, efficiency of navigation, and prevention of pollution from ships. Shipping is a key user. We deliver about 85% of the world trade. We take ferry passengers in and carrying millions of tourists on cruise ships. And fishing, oil, and mineral exploration are other key areas. See, this is a 1 day to yesterday noon position of our seas. All the green points are cargo or container ships. Red are tankers. Every day, the ships are moving like this. It is crowded sea. And if you take it to Indian border, it's not bad. All the tanker coming from the Gulf, you can see so many red. They are all tankers.
One second.
Yeah.
I'm still seeing the 17 goals slide. Are you showing the same or next?
No.
Yeah.
Okay, let me see.
Yes, now we can see the India map.
This is a world map. Oh, sorry, I kept it on slideshow. This is India. So those who are going to sea, or those who came back from sea, or those who are still at sea, can just think, see what will be the traffic there. And all these ships use fuel. The sustainability in shipping main points are developing alternative and cost-effective fuel technology in shipping, reducing fuel consumption for existing ships, and improving energy efficiency and efficiency of engines and hulls for the new vessels. Existing ships, it is reduction of fuel. For new constructions, it is new type of engine should be designed and tried out. Reduction of ships air pollution, that is called decarbonization. Years back, when we were sailing, decarbonization means removing the piston, taking out the cylinder head and removing the piston, then cleaning the liners. That was supposed to be the decarbonization. Now, word over, decarbonization definition changed. Reducing the air pollution is called decarbonization. Implementing the IMO mandatory measures for global industry, EEDI, that is energy efficiency design for new ships, energy efficiency for existing ships, then SEEMP, that is Ship Energy Efficiency Management Plan. These are all being implemented now. All the waste generated on board should be delivered to port reception facilities. IMO's MARPOL is for all this. All these are for climate change control and reducing pollution. Pollution by oil, noxious liquid carrying harmful substance, sewage discharge into the sea, ship-generated garbage, atmospheric pollution, anti-fouling paints, ballast and deballast system, and ship recycling, that is scrapping of ships. Marine debris is another pollution problem in our oceans. It kills marine life, interferes with navigation, safety, and it's a threat to human health. This is the plastic waste waiting to be sent to sea. It was December 9th taken photo. See the quantity of plastic waiting to go back to the sea. And the effect of that plastic is, see that tortoise is inside the net, plastic net, and bottles are lying in the seabed. Tortoise trying to eat plastic cups, plastic carry bags. So avoid throwing any of these things into the sea. Improperly disposed chemicals pollute marine life and kill sea mammals, corals, and fish. At the same time, seabirds eat this fish. So it is a cycle, and we eat the same fish, or non-vegetarians. In a matter of fact, any organism that digests affected marine life can have adverse effects. According to United Nations University Global E-Waste, and that is another one, E-Waste, generated in 2014 was 42 million tons, metric tons. This is increased to 50 million metric tons in 2018. Last month, they detected 25,000 drums of DDT underwater. So many containers filled with e-waste was thrown into Indian Ocean between Mauritius and India. That area, they located many containers with e-waste. E-waste is all your mobile phone batteries, circuit boards, batteries and solder, cathode CRT glasses, that is our old TV glasses, stabilizers in PVC formulation. All these are e-waste. This goes to the sea. Pollution coming from a single source, oil spill or chemical spill, is called point source solution. Even factory discharge from faulty or damaged factories or water and sewage treatment is also a point source solution. Pollution. This is the fire on the water because of oil spill. You must have read about this new diamond off Sri Lanka. The vessel carrying 3 lakh tons of crude oil caught fire in engine room, boiler room. Full engine room was damaged, but no life was affected. But some oil from engine room went into the water, but very less compared to the other ship, Vacasio. I'll come to that. This is Vacasio of Mauritius. See the oil coming out from that. This is how it broke. Then it broke into two. This all because of a small mistake by the officers and crew on board the ship. They were coming from Cape Town, going towards Japan or China. And they were far away from nearby internet range. And one seaman from Indonesia, it was his birthday. He wanted to talk to his wife and family. He asked captain, please divert the ship closer to the small island, which is about 20 kilometers away. So they slowly maneuvered to that area to get the range. They didn't get the range, but they lost the ship. And captain is in jail for 60 years, 60, for silly mistake. And that beach is completely damaged. See the condition of the beach. It is full of furnace oil. Then they took the forward portion of the ship and sank it in 3,000-meter water. That was to avoid some mistake and some problems, to hide the evidence. Which I came to know is that they took low sulfur HFO. As from January 2020, we are supposed to have low sulfur fuel only used in ships, that is less than 0.5 percentage. So to get that, some people were mixing the heavy fuel oil with the 5% sulfur and aviation fuel, because aviation fuel cannot be stored for more than 3 months, and aircraft flights were all cancelled, so that fuel was available. They mixed it to reduce the sulfur content. So to avoid getting this out in the news, they sank that ship, and because of that, within 24 hours, dolphins and whales started washing up in Mauritius beach. This is a condition of beaches after oil spill. There is no place on earth immune to this problem. The majority of trash and debris that covers our beach comes from the storm drains and sewers, as well as from shoreline and recreational activities. Like Cochin Periyar River, there are chemical factories on both sides of the river, and they discharge all the harmful chemicals into the water. They were discharging. Now also there is a control, but still they can discharge sometimes without anybody knowing it. Like that joke, some surveyor asked the engineer, "How will you pump out your bilges?" He said, "Using bilge pump, we pump it overboard." "Don't you know that it's a rule that you cannot pump it out?" "Yes, sir. So we pump out at night." That is the way people were doing it. Now it is little difficult. As soon as you berth, they come with the photo of your ship discharging sludge. Then give the penalty to chief engineer, master, arrest some people. See, this is Cochin Beach, Fort Cochin Beach on 15th May. See the variety. Chappals, thermocol, plastic bottles, all that was given back by the ship, sea. We send it to the sea to keep our house and premises clean. But sea gave us back. These are the urban rubbish, industrial waste, agro-business waste, all the fertilizers we dump in the field, they are washed into the river or canal, it comes to the sea. Chemical and toxic components from the factories, everyday people waste, then garbage. Some thoughts, some plans. We should have a planned disposal for waste, reduction of chemical and pesticides, prudent way of fishing, never throw rubbish, use water wisely. Government should put strict laws that help minimize water pollution. But still, like I said, at night, even now I can see night time, they come in car. I've seen in BMW, Benz, any car. They come at the turning where there is nobody, they just open the door, throw the food waste and plastic waste into the footpath and drive away. That is still going on. Day before yesterday night also I saw it. This is the SDG 17 performance as on 2020. Started in 2015, and see that red two lines, that is SDG 13 and 14. Climate change and life below water. These two, we are not come to the blue level. It is still on minus. See the debris inside the not shark, whale, inside the whale. 220 pounds of ropes, plastic cups, bags, packing straps and tubings. Even gloves are there. Now we'll start getting mask also. The majority of pollutants going into the ocean comes from activities on land. One of the biggest sources is called non-point solution, which occurs as a result of many small sources like septic tanks, cars, trucks, boats, large sources such as factories, farms, and sewage disposal. That is non-point. This is another recycling of ships. When you break one ship, you get more than hundreds of kilos of asbestos, which is used for making the accommodation little cooler than outside. Asbestos, then many other chemical items which were inside the ship tanks or in small drums or containers, all that is thrown into the seashore. The recycling of ship also needs proper control. Fourth IMO greenhouse gas study. Total emission in 2018 was 1,056 metric ton of CO2. It is 9.6% more from 2012. Shipping share of global emission in 2018 is 2.89%. It was 2.76 in 2012. 2018 overall carbon intensity improvement is 21 to 32% since 2018. 2050 emissions projected is 90 to 130% of 2008 emission. That is as per Marine Environment Protection Committee of IMO during its MEPC 75 meeting during 16th to 20th November 2020. Now, in June 2021, they will come with the rules and regulations to avoid this GHG, greenhouse gas. Still fresh in our memory was the most significant environmental change affecting the fuel in use. That is 3.5% to 0.5% sulfur in January 2020. But because of that, 62% increased sludge deposit in the fuel oil system. 32% experienced wax appearance. This is the problem with the new LSHFO. 31% experienced operational issues caused by increased wear and tear of cylinder liners, piston rings, and other components. 22% answered that fuel oil has been debungered. 21% experienced problem with fuel injection, poor ignition, and incomplete combustion of fuel. 18% experienced fuel oil pump seizure, all because of the new low sulfur oil. Now, regulatory and technical challenges for zero carbon in 2050. This is in small fonts. I'll read it out. 11 rules and regulations for the transition are yet to be finalized and in a state of flux. 75% of world tanker fleet do not have any EEDI data, and estimated 85% of vessels will have to do upgrades or modification to meet EEXI compliance. EEDI is design data, EEXI is existing ships data. Increased scrapping of vessel affects vessels availability in the market for trading, because many ships will start scrapping from 2030. IMO greenhouse gas strategy, 40% reduction of carbon by 2030 and 50% of annual GHG by 2050. However, this is being challenged with many stakeholders stating zero emission possible by 2050. Actually, it is impossible. Zero emission is impossible. There will be carbon dioxide coming out of the funnel, little bit at least. LNG, LPG, biofuel, methanol being considered as transitional fuel in the march towards zero emission, with green hydrogen, green ammonia, fuel cells being promoted as ultimate zero carbon fuel. So all those studying now When you go to sea, you will find more LNG engine room, LNG fuel using engine rooms. That means there will be LNG tanks in the ship. There will be no fuel oil bunkering, it will be LNG bunkering. Focus on need for consideration of entire value chain, complete upstream and downstream of fuel life cycle. Shipowners' problems. We'll have to think about shipowner, ship charterer, ship operators. They all have different challenges. Shipowner will have huge challenge, especially those operating old tonnage. They will have to reduce the speed to reduce carbon emission. That means their revenue is less. The expense will be same. Salary will be same. Provision, food, everything will be same, but number of days will increase. So increase voyage cost. Lack of cost-effective upgrade to improve the fuel efficiency of old vessels. There is still studies are going on. Having to scrap a significant fleet size due to non-compliance with the new EEXI regulations coming into force in 2023 and 2026. Non-availability for purchase of fuel-efficient ships in second-hand market. Whoever has fuel-efficient ships, they will not sell it. Insufficient availability of low-carbon fuel and bunkering options. We will not get LSHFO in all the ports. It will be available only in some limited ports. Charterers and traders lack of flexibility on accepting lower voyage speed. When speed reduces, charterers will start fighting. Shipowners' dilemma. Identify means of complying with EEXI by 2023. If not economical, scrap the vessels. Once EEXI is met, the challenge will be to maintain CII's carbon intensity trajectory till 2020, and if not possible to maintain same by 2026, corrective measures are required. Identification and installation of cost-effective, efficient improvement measures to meet carbon intensity criteria where feasible. Vessel layup and docking for these upgrades to be factored. There should be enough available docking areas and layup areas for doing all that. Opting for vessel upgrade for short-term targets in lieu of heavy investment in newer ships designed for low-carbon fuel till the relevant technology matures and a clean path emerges. Monitor the fuel, low-carbon, zero-carbon, future low-carbon and zero-carbon fuel proposals due to current high level of uncertainty. Now IMO is coming with I think in June they will come with that. Anytime you take bunkers, you'll have to pay $2 extra for each ton of fuel for conducting a research on low-carbon fuel. That also the present generation owners will have to pay for it. Sustainable business models accepting changes to way maritime businesses are conducted presently changes the way. Okay. In how the future vessel will be designed, built, operated, and traded in the coming decade. I am managing 3 bulk carriers, sitting at home as the owner's technical manager. One ship is taking 800 tons of LSHFO tomorrow in Malta. That means 800 ton means $1,600 will have to go to IMO for research. And another ship which came to Singapore today will be taking 150 tons of MDO. They also will have to pay $300 for that. That is all taken from the ship owner or from the charterer. This is IMO's outlook for 2050. You can see this is the 2050 limit. Total 50% reduction in density. 2030 it is 50%. 2020 it should be peak as soon as possible, but we are trying. This blue is the business usual present level. If it is a present level, it will go like this. but they want to bring it down to this level. This is the decarbonization shipping. 415. Okay, because it is navigation students, no, that who is attending the course. So decarbonization will be little high for them, but still I will pass through it. Energy efficiency existing ships index. Bulk carriers more than 20% require EEXI rating. Tankers 20%. Container 30 to 50%. Container ships. So the reefer ships 15%. Ro-ro ship, cruise ship 30%. Required EEXI. Existing ships should increase the energy efficiency by this much percent. Challenging time for ship owners, uncertainties, future regulations, new and retroactive, fuel availability in future, and bunkering facility. That also is the issue. Existing vessels, new buildings, what all problems will be there is mentioned in that. This is ship speed will reduce by 10%. Supporting system will reduce by 3%. Marine and auxiliary machinery 8%. Fuel will be 25% less. Decarbonization option, logistics and digitalization, hydrodynamics, machinery. 100% greenhouse gas emission reduction can only be achieved by alternate fuel. See, this is the LNG as fuel. Now it is 2018, 2020. 20 it was up to here. Now it is going to be 2030. This much consumption of LNG will come. LPG, methanol, hydrogen, the options and their qualities. Years back it was sails, then coal came, then HFO came, HFO diesel engines, distillate in ship fuel, then LNG is coming, LNG. That means 2050, after 2050 there will be no fuel engines in the ship. It will be liquid gas, LNG, LPG, or wind supported ship propulsion. Less than 1% of existing fleet is running on alternate fuel. January to April 2021, 18.5% of new building orders were with LNG as fuel. That means LNG is going to come. LNG bunkering demand is coming up, uptake demand. Ship type ordering LNG. The blue one is, green is old one, new one is blue. They're ordering. That is for each container ship, cargo ship, bulk carrier, tanker. The quantity of LNG ships ordering is more. And these are the only places in the world where LNG bunkering is possible. Now India is starting, I think it is starting, but it is limited. This is the cost. Cost-wise, LNG is this black, it is less. This is our fuel oil. Fuel oil, that is fuel oil. This is biodiesel. Price is more, but it is compulsory that we should change over to those. These are the requirements by 2050. The best fuel option will be LSFO, MGO, but greenhouse effect there it is red color. Otherwise, VLSFO and MGO is the best in terms of availability, infrastructure, maturity, energy density, price base. But when you go to LNG, infrastructure and storage facility is not up to the requirement. Energy density is not up to the requirement. Green credentials also not up to that level. That is there in biofuel, hydrogen and ammonia. But if it is hydrogen, all these are in red. All should be in green. The best one comes is methanol. See, maturity, here it is becoming more of difficulty, sorry. This is a LNG tank being constructed for a ship. You can see people standing here on top. This is the size of the LNG tank. This is the inside of a LNG tank. 15,000 TEU container vessel was converted last year. A membrane containment system was fitted. Conversion took place at HRDD yard, Hamburg. LNG tank is fitted in one of the existing cargo holds, so cargo capacity will reduce. Then good ending. This is the last 2-3 slides. Good governance for enabling government environment, sustainable land and marine-based human activities and adequate measures will be required to reduce the negative impact on the marine environment. We should start the action from our homes to keep the air and water clean. Human wrapped the nature with plastic. Now nature hit back by wrapping the human in plastic. Very true. This is what happens if you play with the nature. We change over from plastic to wood or paper leaves. USA uses 500 million straws a day. 80% end up in the ocean. Change over to paper straw or coconut leaf straw. Somebody started making in Kerala. So here it ends my presentation. It is 4:20. Correct timing. Thank you. Thank you all.
Thank you, sir.
Thank
I
you.
think I think the last, the penultimate slide, I think where you mentioned now we are wrapped in plastic.
Yes.
I think that sums it all when it comes to being sustainable, right? So thank you, Mr. NMC Nair. I think it was a very informative lecture. Especially you had shown us a lot of facts, figures, a lot of pictures, and everybody says pictures speak much.
Yes.
A single picture is 1,000 words, and so on. So you'd shown, and then your presentation actually had a mix of the old times to what is in the future.
Yes.
So I think it was a very informative lecture. It was very technical in nature, I should say, for the students who are listening to it. Because
that is why I made it fast in
yes,
decarbonization side.
Yes. So, but as I said, it is, even though it is technical in nature, it is something that they are going to confront when
Yes.
they join the ship. So very informative from that point of view. I can only from the topic and from what you showed initially, where you showed about the effect of climate change and the consequences to the environment, especially the sea environment. I could only recollect a Malayalam saying which says "Muttatta mulyakke manamilla." What I meant to say is the jasmine flower which grows in our own backyard, we don't value it. The oceans, it is so abundance in resources, and I think we just as you showed, what we send it to ocean comes back to the shore. So we are actually spoiling it and not actually sustaining it for many years to come. We should change.
Very true. Very true.
We should change our mindset. We should change our actions. We should change our thoughts. I think if we need to keep this world sustainable. Before I hand over back to Captain Dheeraj, I didn't see much questions because, as I said, it's more of a technical nature, and I think you gave us a lot of facts and figures. But before I hand over to Captain Dheeraj, I would welcome Dr. Simon, sir. I'm sorry I didn't see you at the welcome address. So would you like to add up to what Mr. NMC Nair has said, Dr. Simon? I think the moment he was trying to press, this is what I am on 2-3 gadgets, so I didn't. So I am on my phone, I am on my iPad, I am on my laptop. Just wanted to make sure. So I think Simon sir clicked the wrong button, and he exited. Okay.
Okay,
When he
no
comes
problem.
back, we'll get him. Captain Dheeraj, over to you. Thank you once again, Mr. NMC Nair.
Thank you, sir. And it had been a very fruitful and very informative session where We are all seafarers, but it in every session it so happens that there are a lot many new things we come to know. Although we have sailed a lot, but okay, many times the other side of the sailing had been so not so been part of understanding as it has been now, when we have people like you telling us what is happening around. Sir, as always, there is a lot of questions over here, and we will be conducting a question answer session. So I'd like to hand over to our senior cadet Johan, for conducting this question answer session. Johan?
Yeah, Captain Dheeraj, just a second. Johan, just hold on. Johan, just hold on. We got Dr. Simon back. Sir, yes.
Yes, sir. I was listening to the presentation by Mr. NMC Nair, and then he has indicated what is going to be the next fuel, future fuel. Yes, there is LNG is definitely there, but my personal opinion is even LNG has got carbon. So LNG is not going to be a solution for 2050. The solution should be a fuel without carbon content, and then that is, in my opinion, the ammonia is NH3. So there's only nitrogen and hydrogen. So I think that is going to be the ultimate solution to the problem of carbon intensity. That's the only comment I want to make.
Right, sir. But ammonia storage and
yes, ammonia has got a lot of drawbacks. Storage, the power, the energy intensity is less. Storage will occupy more oleum. More than anything else, ammonia is poisonous. To deal with that, it is toxic.
Bunkering is a big job.
Yeah, and then one more thing, ammonia production also is not that easy.
Yeah.
So you have to produce green ammonia, not any ammonia. So that's the issue there. And then, whatever it is, every solution has got some inbuilt problem also. Of all the fuels of the future, I see ammonia as a solution to some extent. Incidentally, I may say that here in Cochin, in a very humble way, at Albert Maritime Institute, we have initiated some research work into using ammonia as the future propulsion fuel, not just pure ammonia. Ammonia, in fact, Wasilla Diesel is doing that job, but they are putting a pilot injector with diesel. Otherwise, ammonia is not that easily flammable. Ammonia has got another big problem, that if this ammonia slip itself is adding on to the GHG. Besides, NOx is another problem with ammonia. In spite of all these problems, that's the only choice for the future, for 2050. Therefore, as I mentioned earlier, we are trying to do some research. If I may divert some news, we are trying to use mixture of ammonia with few other fuels as the fuel and put it into the engine. So let's see how far we reach, and then it's an expensive proposition to have a research. We are running short of so many things. In spite of all the hardships, we are proceeding with it. Thank you. Thank you for the opportunity.
Sir, Rajan here.
Please go ahead.
Yeah.
Please go ahead.
Rajan. Rajan here and there.
I too had difficulty, because net problem, there's no power here.
Yeah, I think since we wait, Johan, you may take the first question to the speaker.
Yes, sir. Thank you, sir. So the first question is by Anand Ajit Kumar. I think you all have just already answered the question, but I would bring up it once again. He's asking what, in your opinion, is the most dependable source of renewable energy as far as the future of shipping is concerned?
I feel it is biofuel, and like Dr. Simon said, it will be ammonia. Biofuel will have to come up. Not the present fuel will have to go for merchant navy, for marine operations. others will be using it, but we can reduce the carbon emission by changing over to ammonia or LNG or biofuels.
Yes, sir. Thank you, sir. The next question is by Captain Vinod Naveen. He's asking, what should the youngsters going out to sea do to keep shipping sustainable with regard to protecting the environment?
Even if you know that invisible pipe, still don't pump out the bilges into the sea. Yesterday at Singapore, we discharged 130 tons of sludge ashore to the barges. See the amount of money involved in sending it. In our times, it was